So it's that time of year. Tell me, are you suffering with any of these symptoms? Feeling despondent, anxious, unable to think clearly, can't shake feeling ill, experiencing muscle tension, aches and pains, battling forgetfulness or fogginess? Have your eating patterns gone to shite? If so, you're not alone. If you've been working through personally or professionally taxing times, sometimes functionality becomes an uphill battle. As creatives, we're often tempted to persevere through exhaustion, hoping to gain a slight edge. However, an ongoing cycle of intense creative work without adequate rest leaves us drained, disheartened, and at a pronounced disadvantage in our creative pursuits. Trust me, I know. This is the part where I fess up. I have historically been notoriously bad at resting. I love thinking, making stuff, trying new things, learning, seeing what's possible. Some call it work, but to me, and probably to you too, it's an adventure, a continuous process of discovery. And because of this, I often become so engrossed in what I'm doing that I forget the importance of powering down, or at least transitioning into sleep mode to conserve my energy. In the past, I had two modes of resting: burning out or zoning out. Burning out. Well, hopefully, you caught the first episode of the Extraordinary Creatives podcast, where I shared the dire consequences of my experience on that front. As traumatic as it was, it became the catalyst for change and brought me here to you. And that's why I'm deeply committed to sharing what I've learned so you can avoid putting yourself in harm's way. Zoning out would be a full on batten down the hatches duvet day, watching umpteen episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race on repeat, stuffing my face with carbs and sugar, and doom scrolling or gorging on Grazia until my transformation into Jellyhead is fully complete. Now, don't get me wrong, opting out of life for a day here and there is something we all need to do, and I'm never going to judge your version of doing that. We're in the arts after all. Whatever your preference, opting out occasionally is needed. But if you're anything like me, it's not a useful recuperation strategy in the long term because it's not fully restorative. It actually puts your brain into glitch mode, oscillating between resting and springing back into action. You're caught in the deadening netherworld. Zoning out is like eating 5 bags of Haribos because you're hungry and can't get your hands on any real food. It feels like a good solution because it knocks you into a catatonic state. So you temporarily numb out, have a mini high, then you sugar bomb, and what do you know? You're still hungry. For artists and creatives, proper rest rejuvenates our capacity to innovate, react spontaneously, maintain our zeal and overall wellness. If we persistently shoulder even the slightest stress, it swiftly transmutes into a habit. Without realizing, functioning suboptimally becomes the norm. Stress hormones, part of the vital fight or flight response, are naturally intended to linger briefly in our system, just enough to navigate imminent dangers. Nature dictates a subsequent retreat and response to restore equilibrium and homeostasis. But failing to grant ourselves respite after stress exposes our bodies to a continual surge of stress hormones. And this prolonged exposure weakens our entire biological framework: neurological, cardiovascular, digestive, endocrine, and musculoskeletal. And it lays the groundwork for really serious illnesses. Lowering our heart rate and soothing our thoughts, even for a fleeting 5 minutes, clears mental clutter, revitalizes our bodies, and reconfigures our outlook. A consistent incorporation of this simple routine over time orchestrates profound transformations in our brains and bodies, leading to vitality, triumph, longevity. Studies have demonstrated that consistent rest and sleep significantly impact cognitive functions, problem-solving abilities, or decision-making skills, essential elements for productivity. Rest and solitude are crucial for allowing the brain to consolidate information and create connections between seemingly unrelated concepts, fostering innovation and creative problem solving. Arianna Huffington, the co founder of the Huffington Post, said, "We think mistakenly that success is the result of the amount of time we put in at work instead of the quality of time we put in. So this year ahead, I wonder if you'd be up for trying something new with me to supercharge your creativity and productivity. Let's get your diary out over Christmas and map out your rest days first. That's nothing connected to art or learning about art. I know, radical, isn't it? In fact, I urge you to meet your radical resting self as frequently as possible in the upcoming year. I've made a personal pledge to operate at my peak performance next year, and that entails an unwavering commitment to embracing more rest. If you'd like to embark on this journey with me and acquaint yourself with your radical resting self, perhaps you'd consider following my lead. Number 1, choose a set number of days each month where work is off limits. That's absolutely no art-related research, reading, writing, watching, or visiting. 0 work allowed. Number 2, select an accountability partner who will give you a gentle nudge if you slip. And I would recommend not picking someone from your family circle here. Number 3, decide on a consequence your accountability partner can enforce if you falter. Make it impactful or embarrassing enough to motivate you to stick to your plan. And number 4, outline a reward for yourself upon successful completion. So I'm wondering, would you be up for being my accountability partner? If so, here are my commitments. I'm going to stick to 6 days every month of non-work. And you are now my accountability partner. I'm going to perform a song of your choice on my socials if I fail to hit this target. So reply in the comments below to let me know your song, or just hit reply and let me know. Number 4, I'm going to treat myself to a luxurious spa day, which might seem mundane to you, but trust me, it's like catnip to me, and it's as rare as a solar eclipse. So in my non-working days, you might find me snuffling around tap shops, convincing myself I need some broken, scuffed bit of crap, making a hash of some DIY, completely perplexed, yet zen about my lack of skills, bodging a new recipe without all the appropriate ingredients, and inappropriately laughing like a drain with my friend at our own idiocies. How about your radical resting self? What plans do you have for giving yourself a break in 2024? Hit reply and let me know your strategies. And if you'd be up for holding me accountable, I'd be really open to keeping you updated on my progress. So here's to optimizing our lives through the magic of rest and relaxation.